Hiya, I hope you're keeping well. Today, I want to make a video about beauty advent calendars. This isn't really a topic that I tend to touch on, and it's funny because I used to love them and then I've kind of gone off them, but I still think some of them are really special. And essentially, I just want to run you through some of the positives and negatives of having them, because I feel like it's a really overwhelming time of year where we're shown 1,000,001 things. And on one hand, they can be a really lovely treat if you're looking for a great gift idea, but on the other hand, depending on what you're dealing with, you might be better off spending that money somewhere else and getting something so much more perfect for you. So I kind of wanted to touch on them today. Just to give you a bit of a top line, I've chosen a few calendars that I think are lovely, and I also want to call out some services that I think are great if you're not thinking of getting a beauty advent calendar but you want to get something perfect for another person or for yourself. So we'll go into all of this. So I want to tell you a story first, a bit of background on beauty advent calendars. In 2014, I joined Selfridges in Birmingham as their personal shopper for beauty. And at that time, hardly anyone had a beauty advent calendar, but the one advent calendar that was amazing, it used to be sold from Lancôme, but it was all the L'Oreal group in one calendar. So in this calendar, you had Lancôme, YSL, Schumacher at the time, Kiehl's, you had all these lovely fragrances like Victor and Rolf, and it was literally the golden ticket that everyone was obsessed with. So when I first joined, I had set up like that I could talk to everyone on Instagram. There was a page for the beauty hall back then, and I would build up this momentum for the beauty advent calendar. And the day it came out, so I joined in like the spring, and then this would have come out, I don't know, like maybe October time. I remember it was the first day that I was like, listen, I know you've all been wondering why have I set up all this stuff, and like it's such a long, slow burn. But it was the day that it all fell into place and everyone got really excited about these calendars. So then for years, the same people that got a calendar from me would come back year and year. There was one year that was like a magical storybook one. I can't remember now if that was the L'Oreal one or at this point Selfridges had their own one. But just, it was a really special time and there weren't many to choose from. There was also, to give them credit where it's due, Ciate did one, and every day you had a different nail varnish. So I used to absolutely love advent calendars and I used to just get so excited about them. And then what I think has happened, and it's a good thing, and also just it has changed the kind of excitement for them. I think there are so many now, and there are so many different niche calendars that it's made it a bit harder to find something that is truly different or also that is worth the big investment. So if you've never had a calendar, how it works is sometimes you have a full 24-day advent calendar, sometimes you have a 12-day countdown. They will give you the contents in advance so you can go on when you're buying it and you know exactly what's in there. And it all seems really exciting. But I think depending on which calendar you get, and depending on what's right for you, it can either be such an amazing treat or something that might not be quite right for you. So to give you me as an example, because I've got rosacea, there's so much skincare that I can't actually use. So if it's a really skincare heavy one, the chances are it's not quite going to be right for me. Whereas like one year, it was a few years ago now, it's a brand that we don't have in the UK anymore, but did you ever have or did you ever see the Atelier Cologne advent calendar? That was my favourite advent calendar I think I've probably ever had, because you had try me sizes of all of their different fragrances. It was a lot of fragrance, but they also had like scented body things. But that for me is a great example of an advent calendar because it's something that everyone can enjoy and wear. And also with fragrance, like the ones that you're not going to wear, it's such a lovely thing to pass on. But yeah, essentially, I think there are great calendars, and I also think there are other ways that you could be investing if a calendar isn't quite right. So if you're thinking of getting a gift calendar, I would be asking yourself, what do you think that person uses the most? If they're not someone that wears loads of makeup, avoid the makeup heavy ones. If there's someone perhaps that loves discovering new brands, you might like to try someone like a retailer advent calendar, because let's say brands themselves will make a calendar, then you'll have retailers giving you a selection of everyone that they stock. They will often prioritise in their calendars things like their exclusive brands. So if you were to go to say Space NK or Cult Beauty, you're probably going to find things in there that you might not have actually tried yourself yet, that they really rate, that they have bought in and they think is wicked. And I would also ask yourself really honestly, whether it's for you or for another person, the amount of money that calendar is going to cost. Yes, it's exciting. It is the most amazing gift. It's so exciting. Like, I'm not going to downplay that. Who wouldn't want to open a different product every day of December? But let's say, coming back to making it all about me again, but like genuinely, if you have someone with a skin condition, there is a service that I've seen that La Roche-Posay are doing at the moment. I say at the moment, at the time of me filming this, they're doing it. Where you can go online, have a free consultation with a skin expert, and they can recommend you a routine based on what you need. Now, for someone like me, the amount of money I would spend on an advent calendar is so much better spent having a one-to-one with someone, talking about the specific ins and outs of my skin, because if I were to try loads of different skincare things, it would just cause havoc and it wouldn't be good. Whereas that same money could give me great skin. No, I don't have the excitement of opening up a lovely calendar every day, but the end goal of, you know, feeling more confident in my skin is probably better suited to me than the initial excitement. All of this said, I've chosen a few calendars that I think are fantastic. Now, there's a few little caveats. First of all, I've researched some of these and some of them have already gone. I know that's probably really frustrating that I'm now making a video about them, but I wanted to give you a bit of a run through of why I've chosen them to be good and give you some ideas for if you are looking for something like this, things that you can be keeping in mind. These are people that will probably do calendars again. You can keep them in mind for next year. And to be really honest with you, I'm not going to open them. I want to show them to you, but I'm not going to open them because every year I keep loads of new, unused, unopened products and I donate them. And I am donating all of my products today. So I wanted to show you these and then I can pass them on to a lovely home, because as much as it is really exciting and I don't want you to think I'm not grateful, I'm literally falling over myself for any of these. And I would also just say, the calendars I'm showing you, I'm very, very lucky to have been sent them, you know, as part of my job. But they will often ask, would you like to receive this or not receive it? I always say if it's not something I think will go to good use. But with the calendars, I thought, I know all of these people as well will be really happy to know that they've gone to a lovely home and they've been donated somewhere that they're going to be really treasured. Not that I wouldn't treasure them, but I am very lucky I've got the products that I need and I get a real kick out of knowing that someone will enjoy these. So let's go through the calendars. The first one I'd really recommend is Hannah Martin's Advent Calendar. Now, Hannah is a fantastic makeup artist. She's a lovely person and she's put together a mixture of makeup, skincare, all of these lovely beauty things. However, what I think makes this calendar really different is that because Hannah loves making really informative beauty content, if you give this to someone as a gift, they can click onto her profile and there's loads of videos of her using everything in the calendar. So for someone that is maybe wanting to learn new tricks, finding their feet in makeup, or just wanting a bit of guidance how to use everything, this one is fantastic. So if I just show you, all of the boxes are like a Tetris. So once you've opened them, you could always keep the box and reuse it year on year. And then you have a QR code here that you can scan. That takes you to a proper tutorial of how to use everything that they have made specifically for this calendar. But also, I have seen her making so many bits and pieces, using everything from the calendar. So they'll just be in really good hands, that it won't just be, what am I going to do with this? There'll be loads of inspiration for exactly what to do. There's a whole host of reasons why I'd choose the next one. It's the Elemis Advent Calendar. It's a really beautiful mixture of skincare, body care, everything from Elemis is blended in a way that you get these lovely aromatics as well as the benefit of the product. So it's a real kind of moment of me time, as well as your shower oil or your face wash or face cream, any of those steps. If I just show you the calendar, again, it's this lovely sturdy calendar with boxes that you pull out, so you could reuse this year on year. And it's so heavy, that's why it's kind of hard to show you. It's a really luxury, large, you know, really sumptuous kind of gift. But the one thing I would say with Elemis, if you were thinking of getting a present for someone that maybe hasn't had the easiest year, it's a really lovely one to kind of encourage those moments of self-care, because everything is kind of about taking a step back, enjoying that ritual. And again, a little bit like what I said with Hannah, Elemis have such a lovely team. Like if you watch QVC, for example, you'll know lots of the ambassadors really well. But Keeley, for example, comes to mind, and also Grace. They have the loveliest team of therapists that have been making content for years and years to show you how to use everything, explain the benefits of all of the products. And again, just taking that moment of me time. They often do live videos and things like that. It would be a really lovely choice for anyone that essentially just wants to carve out that time for themselves and give themselves a bit of a treat. It's an investment, but I think in here you've got such a mixture of head to toe restoration. It would be a really thoughtful gift for someone. Now, if you're shopping for someone that likes slightly unusual things, or maybe little pops of colour, is maybe a bit more adventurous, I absolutely loved the Anthropologie advent calendar. This one, I'm not going to lie, I was so desperate to keep because I just love the print on the front. I think it's so lovely. But what I think Anthropologie do really well in general is just find slightly more unusual things. If I just show you, my favourite tip for Anthropologie is to wait until the end of whatever the season is and you get everything in the sale. So like I got these wine glasses that were from the Halloween collection for £5 in the sale. They're just like stemless, absolutely gorgeous. I'm terrified of spiders is the irony, but I love anything spooky. Everything in my house is kind of like witchy or supernatural or a little bit magical, so I love those. But basically in here, I mean, oh, wait until you open it up. Again, it's the kind of thing where you'd be able to keep it year on year because it's all of these boxes in a Tetris. But it's just so like kooky and lovely. They have little pops of colour from things like coloured nail varnishes. They had a really lovely mix in here of brands that you'd probably know and trust, and then newer brands that I hadn't heard of, say. Also things like UK Lash that I always hear great things about, that would be one of those things that, you know, especially if you were new to beauty, would one of the first things you buy be an eyelash serum? Probably not, but then yeah, you're going to give it a go if you get it to try, do you know? I just thought it was really well curated and the print was absolutely lovely, so that would be a great one for maybe the experimenter in your friendship group. And then, to be honest with you, if you had your pick of anything and you could choose something really special that would just be like so exciting to open every morning, the Cult Beauty calendar is unbelievable. So this one again is really sturdy, and when you open it up, everything is drawers that open in and out, so you could reuse this year on year, and they're really deep, all different sizes. But I think Cult Beauty, you know how I was saying earlier about when a retailer puts together a calendar and they'll prioritise like new brands, exclusive brands, really niche things that are just a bit different to the norm. The Cult Beauty one is incredible. Now, something I'd say with Cult is, as the name suggests, they really like to prioritise things that, let's say for example, it might be a brand that doesn't have like a million different SKUs, but they just have one really great hero, or they are really known for doing something particularly well. For example, the thing that I always get from Cult Beauty is my K18 hair treatment, and that is a product that has really helped my hair to grow and really helped to repair a lot of the damage of heat and bleach over the years. It's things like that you're going to find in here that are just that bit different from the norm, really generous try-me sizes, and the value on this one is incredible. So even though it's an investment, you're looking at over £1,000 worth of things. If you're someone that likes experimenting with new brands and trying new things, it really is unbelievably fab. So those are a few favourites, but all in all, I would just really give you a big reminder that at this time of year, everything seems really essential. You know, there's so many videos about things that you need and you like and whipping up so much excitement for Christmas. But ultimately, I think to find the right things for you, it's really important to get clear on what you want from your entire beauty routine, whether it's fragrance, hair, makeup, skin. And I know this sounds really basic, but I find this helpful. Write a list in your phone of what you're trying to achieve and then cross-reference what works and doesn't work for that. So for example, if you know that when you wear your foundation, you like a really fresh, lightweight kind of base, the day you get served a really convincing full coverage foundation advert, you're not going to get it because you don't need full coverage, because you know you want something really lightweight and fresh. Or let's say, for example, there's a really great offer on a shiny hair trio that's going to give you the best shine I've ever experienced. If you know that your main goals are actually repairing heat damage and maybe encouraging your hair to grow, the same as me, you're going to know that even though that looks lovely, it's not the best thing for you. And just by getting really clear on exactly what you're looking for, I think it makes a huge difference. For years, I used to present for IT Cosmetics on QVC, and one of the things that they used to tell us to do that I thought was a really good tip is if you were explaining about a product, they would tell you to explain who it's not for as well as who it is for, and that way someone isn't going to get it home and be disappointed and send it back. And I think it's a really lovely way to look at all of your treats. Obviously, it's a great time of year to be treating yourself, in particular if you know what you're looking for, because maybe with Black Friday you might get a little bit extra off, but it's also a time of year where it's very easy to fall into a trap of the new and shiny. And so just keeping all of those things in mind will mean that you take things home that you really love and you get a lot of use out of, and you have something lovely for Christmas. But anyway, take care, have a lovely rest of the day, and I'll talk to you soon.